Hey, what's up, guys? Go back to my channel to come me. And yeah, so let's do a review. So I watched Godzilla Minus 1, black and white. Originally, like, when this movie came out, I was like, yo, I gotta watch this in IMAX, alright? But fuck! I didn't get to do it. And after watching this movie, I am so mad of myself for not taking that opportunity. Bro, at that week, I was really busy. I was just, working and shit. And I was just like, yo, I'm gonna watch it. But I didn't know that it will only be in theaters and IMAX for a week. I missed my opportunity. And because of that, after that, I was just so mad at myself, I didn't want to watch the movie. I was just praying, hoping to God that maybe because of popularity, because of word of mouth, because everybody's watching this movie, I thought maybe this would come back in IMAX. The Japanese government would be like, hey, yo, this movie's popping. Everybody in America loves it. All right, let's put it back in IMAX again. Because in my theater, they bring it back, what's it called, Spider-Verse in IMAX. So I was like, maybe they could bring it back to IMAX again. They haven't. And I didn't want to watch in regular theater because, listen, where I'm living at, the IMAX is the only, amazing theater experience. Every other theater, either it's expensive for a regular version or it's a crappy, just run down theater where it's like, yeah, the tickets are $7, but, the fucking, the projector, it's an old-ass projector. It's barely putting out a lot of light to be visible in the corners. So it's like, I don't want to experience that shit. I wanted my first experience to be amazing, but I had to go to the rundown theater because, family members wanted to come with me, and I wasn't going to pay for $11 a ticket, all right? $7? All right, fine. Now, if it was a better experience like, Dolby or IMAX, yeah, sure, shit. I spent like $24 a ticket for the Oppenheimer 70mm IMAX experience, and it was worth it, all right? So, I had to just go to this theater because it was the closest, it was the cheapest. Now, before I start with this review, I have to say this. It is a crime of the Japanese to not bring this shit back to IMAX, all right? This might be, if it doesn't come to IMAX again before I die, this might be the worst thing the Japanese has done to this world that I've been through. Now, I know it's limited to show every IMAX movie per theater. I know that. But, movies like Willy Wonka or that B movie, Jason Statham, and yeah, sure, yeah, it's an IMAX right now, but I'm gonna need these movies to get the fuck out of here, all right? Like, you ain't showing nothing. You just get out, all right? Make some space for this movie. So yeah, when I saw this movie, deep down inside me, I was like, ayo, movies are back. Movies are back. This was an amazing movie. I loved it. I wish I went on a better theater, but because it was black and white, I kind of just told my brain to just imagine, since it's black and white, imagine you're watching it in 1950s technology, with an old projector, So I did that, and I was like, oh, wow, it actually helped a lot. But there were a few moments where it's like, all right, we need a stronger projector because, especially at the night scenes when it's dark, yeah, it's kind of hard to tell, but, it's still good enough. I remember listening to a lot of reviews because, I was like, wait, is it that really good? And everybody said it was that good. Everybody was talking about the CGI wasn't the best, the budget was like $85 million. So for that much money, it's amazing. A lot of other movies right now, their budget is like over $300 million, ridiculous budget. But for this movie, for that price, that's great. But I guess the price they had to pay was maybe having not as good CGI as, the big budget ones. But with the black and white, it actually hides it really good because I'm just like, the CGI is really good. I'm not sure if Godzilla himself is maybe sometimes practical and CGI. Because there's a few times, especially, I'm not gonna say any spoilers, but that scene where they were getting chased by Godzilla, I was looking at it, I'm like, wait a minute, is this an actual, model of Godzilla? Or is it just like bad CGI? But either way, because it was black and white, it helped a lot to just look at it as an homage of like Jaws. Like that scene actually really reminded me of Jaws. Like anytime when something looks just maybe a little bit goofy or, maybe it looks a little bit off, because of that black and white, I kind of just tell myself, oh, they're trying to mimic how, practical effects look like back then. Because there will be times where the CGI looks amazing, the way he moves, the way he like poses, and then the other times it looks like more like practical effects. I'm not sure if it's either practical or just bad CGI. Either way, in the black and white, it helped a lot and it looked amazing, So for a movie that was originally colored, black and white seems like it's the best way to watch it so far. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm gonna have to watch the color eventually. Well, I'm probably gonna have to wait until it comes out digitally because it's no longer in theaters. The black and white was like the last time it's gonna be on theaters. Hopefully it comes back, like I said, in IMAX. But yeah. So now let's talk about the story. So I'm not a fan of a lot of these movies with, giant CGI characters with non-CGI characters. Usually they focus on the non-CGI way too much and they just make them not interesting, just like with all the Transformers movies or even the other American Godzilla movies. I'm just not a fan. They're just like, bro, I just want to see explosions from the CGI monster and I don't want to hear you guys talk, all right? But except for this movie, all the non-CGI characters are actually very interesting. I loved all the characters here. So this movie is taking place right after, Japan was bombed. And the Japanese are just like trying to just process what happened and trying to just move on, trying to fix their homes. So we have this main character. I don't know his name. All right. Like, I'm bad with names. So remembering a name that is foreign, yeah, I was never paying attention. He was actually a kamikaze fighter. And I know you guys are thinking, wait a minute, ain't he supposed to be dead? He was supposed to, but he lives on with this guilt, and even some people around him during the time, blamed him for why the country lost the war and why the bombing happened. So yeah, our main character in the beginning of the movie was the first few characters that encountered Godzilla and lived. And because he lived and saw all of his, colleagues die around him, he feels a mass amount of guilt. Like, a lot of things happen to this main character. A lot of people die around him, except for him. So because of the culture and his role in the military was supposed to be, he felt like he's supposed to die to win the war. So him living is the reason why all of this is happening. All of this is continuing to happen. So in the beginning, they didn't show too much Godzilla. It was like in the beginning, and then like 20 minutes of just, focus on the non-CGI characters, building them up until we see Godzilla again. Like, I loved it because, they kind of just don't talk about it, Like, in the beginning when Godzilla killed all those men, he's like, what the fuck just happened? I like to imagine, it's like, okay, that was just a dream, I guess. I can't really talk to anybody. It was only me and this other guy that lived with me, all right? He can't really explain anything, so it's just like, all right, that happened. Like, was it just a dream that a monster just came and killed all these people? Did I just imagine instead of people that were killing all these guys, it was a monster? I don't know. Like, it did a really good job, just like, you see Godzilla, and then we just kind of just not acknowledge it, Like, we focus on these characters, and because these characters are so interesting, you almost forget about Godzilla, Like, you see what's happening, you feel sad for them and their country, and then you see Godzilla there. Oh no. Oh no. Listen, I'm not the biggest Godzilla fans, especially with the modern ones, especially the American ones. I just look at it like, this is just wrestling. And it's just like CGI wrestling. That's it. Sure, the action scene's great, but like the monster itself, I don't really care, right? Like, it exists just to make things look cool. But this Godzilla in this movie, fucking A. It is a menace. It is an actual monster you wish never exists. This isn't a Godzilla that is like, the hero or the anti-hero. No, he's not really a villain either. The perspective of the Japanese he is, but he is more like a force of nature. You know how a tornado or a tsunami destroys a place. Would you call, the tsunamis, they're evil? No, they're just reacting how nature works. Would you call like a lion eating a human evil? And it's like, no, they're just acting how they would act. Now, I'm not sure if in the movie they did explain why Godzilla is destroying these cities. I didn't see it, but I do know that, Godzilla overall is supposed to be a metaphor on Japanese natural disasters, or even karma for, what the Japanese did to the world. So yeah, whenever you see Godzilla, it's just scary, all right? Like, you're scared, you're hoping that this monster would never exist, but bro, at the same time, when you see all this destruction, all these people dying, you're like, yo, this is cool as shit! Like, there hasn't been any, giant monster films that made me feel this way. So yeah, I fucking love this movie. God, I hope it comes back to IMAX, please. And hopefully, if they're making a second movie, they give it a way bigger budget, all right? Like, I noticed by looking at this film, it's like, all right, there's not a lot of, cool set pieces, but what they got was really good. I think earlier the budget, I said it was, 85 million. It turns out it was actually 15 million. Like, that is actually pretty crazy. Like, this is the same budget of a Blumhouse film. Like, they average around 10 million, but this is 15 million? This is 15 million, and this is better than any other blockbuster film I've watched. Personally, for me, this has got to be movie of the year. This is the best film of 2023 so far. I know the the year's already over, all right? But this was fucking awesome. I loved it. I can't wait till it comes to DVD. Hopefully it comes very soon. I'm hearing it's coming late 2024. Japan, please. Hopefully it comes earlier, maybe digitally. I don't know. I'll buy that shit 2 times, all right? I don't care. Because so far, quote unquote, illegally, that's what I've been hearing. You can't find anything unless it's cam, all right? I'm trying to rewatch this, but there's no options. So please let me pay to watch this again, because it's already out of theaters, all right? I can't watch it in theaters. I would do it, but it's not there. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me TikTok and Twitter so you can keep up to date with all my videos. And, yeah, bye.